Greetings, and salutations, beautiful people in the beautiful world. It is me, he is I am him. Zach Latimer, Z Lat, and welcome back to another segment of Right and Exact. Shots out to a new nation, and a shot out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could be doing anything, but you are here, and I appreciate. I give thanks. Thank you so much. Today, what I want to talk about and build on is focus, all right? Focus, and this can be challenging sometimes just due to the simple fact that when one is striving and reaching towards a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of awareness, and you step out of that stream of what the dominant society is moving and going in, and you step into your own groove, and you say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to focus on, but then it's hard to shake off that what the dominant society says that you should be concerned with. You say, hold on, I no longer want to concern myself with these things. I want to go in my own direction. But then it's hard to focus on these things. So one thing that one can do when they want to sit down and focus on some of the things that they want to is you have to slow things down, okay? You got to slow things down. And a lot of times when we look at it, they say focus, you have to sit and you have to be still and you have to stop things. And that's not going to happen because everything is moving, everything is vibrating, everything has its own rhythm to it. Now, what you can do, though, is bring things into a state of stasis where you slow them down enough where you can able to observe these things, right? So it's just like water. Water is solid, it could be in a liquid, and it could be in a gas. Gas in a liquid where things are moving and it's hard to observe them. But when you freeze it, all right, it's not, you're not stopping it. All you're doing is bringing it to a state of stasis where you're able to observe and see what is going on. No different than if somebody plays sports and you go in, let's say, or you play football and you go in to break film down. And you're watching a team that you're about to play so you can get the jump on them and see what they're doing. You watch the tape and slow it down and run it back and see what they're doing. So when you get into that actual game, you're able to move and groove and you're able to slow that. What they're all trying to do against you, you slow it down and you can see it coming. So the thing here is you have to slow things down. Now, next thing is you have to learn how to separate these thoughts that keep moving in and out of your head. Now, if we look at it from a metaphysical standpoint, you already know that things can't be separated. Everything is connected, right? But this is where a shoe comes in and it gives you can use that, at least use that illusion of separation where when these things start to come through your head and these ideas, and let's say you sit down and you want to open up a bank or you want to open up a business or you want to open up anything in life, and you sit down and you start to give your focus and attention to whatever this task is. And as you're trying to give your focus to it, then these things start running through your head of sneakers and ice cream and all of these other things start running through your head. What you want to do then is you want to give those things your focus. You want to separate those things and put them in their own bag, because if you don't separate these things, then what they'll do is they'll attach themselves to your task, and then it's hard to focus in on what you want to do. So what you want to put them in their own container, separate them, segregate them, so then you're able to actually move on and then start to focus on it. This is a muscle that you just have to keep training. Okay? You got to keep working at it. Now, next thing is you have to be patient. You got to be patient. All right? And be kind to yourself. Because at the same time, this is why it's hard to focus, is because one can come impatient. You want it now. I got to have it now. And you got to look at it in the sense of just when you was a child and you used to write your name, and you look at it, if you can ever get some of your old work in kindergarten or in first grade or second grade, and you look at it how you used to write your name on a piece of paper, and it was just all over the place, right? Letters ain't falling in, and some of y'all's handwriting still is like that, but one would get better over time, but you have to be patient, all right? And then as you see over time, then it started to get better and better. Well, then what leads us into the next one is you have to be persistent. Right? You have to be persistent and don't give up on yourself so soon. Don't give up on your focus, because this is a muscle that you got to work. And if we're looking at it as like muscle, you want to compare your focus. You want your focus to be just like your heart muscle. All right? And your heart muscle just keeps going. Doesn't stop. 40, 50, 60 years, it just keeps going and it's persistent. And if you want to train your focus muscle to be the same way, because once you can start to focus and hone in on things, then you can start to elucidate them. It gives light to them. No different than if you had a magnifying glass, right? And through a magnifying glass, you can use light, and if you can condense the light into a being, then you can start to set fire to things. It can start to bring light and fire to a leaf, or you can have paper, and you can, that beam that you can focus in on a certain object and light it up. Well, this is why when you read in a lot of teachings that you have the lamp of God, that you have the first eye, that you have the Son of Man, that you have the first eye of Ra. All of it talking about your pineal. All of it talking about if you can focus in on this and train it, and you have to be persistent with it, then you can elucidate anything that you want in your power. Start to become limitless because you can see through all of the BS, all right? But you have to be persistent with it. You have to stay with it, and you have to stay at it, and don't give up on it so soon. No different than going to the gym. It's just not, you're not going to just work out one day and then say, okay, I got this. You have to stay with it. And as you stay with it, then you'll start to see some results. But just know, no matter how fast or no matter how slow you feel like you're moving, everything is always moving. No different than if you ever see like a niece or a nephew and a little kid again, and you say, man, I ain't seen this kid in a long time. Boy, you shot up. And then the parent is like, I don't see it. Yeah, because you've been with it. But when somebody else comes along, then they can point out the growth. So just stay with it. Don't get too down on yourself. And just keep staying and keep going. All right, keep grinding, and knowing that life does not get easier. You just get better at the things that you do, and then you just make it look easy. All right. So I will that you got something out of this. I will that you have a wonderful day. If you want to get deeper into this, holla at Chief Yuya on Enlightenment and Transformation. He'll go all the way in. If you want to check me out on Instagram, Zach Latimer, ZACHLATIMER, and we can chop it up. All right. Until next time, I'm out. Deuces.